Hello, welcome again. We are covering Geography of Class 10 from NCERT book under heading Contemporary India 2 for CDS and Civil Services pre-exam. Next topic or next chapter in this book is Forest and Wildlife, and the introductory part is point wise. First point is we share this planet with millions of other living beings, starting from microorganisms and bacteria, lichens to banyan trees, elephant and blue whale. Next point, this entire habitat that we live in has immense biodiversity. We humans, along with all living organisms, form a complex web of ecological system in which we are only a part and very much dependent on this system for our own existence. For example, the plants, animals, and microorganisms recreate the quality of air we breathe, water we drink, and the soil that produces our food without which we cannot survive. Next point, forests play a key role in the ecological system as these are also primary producers on which all other living beings depend. Next point, biodiversity or biological diversity is immensely rich in wildlife and cultivated species, diverse in form and function but closely integrated in a system through multiple network of interdependencies. Okay. So this is the introductory part, and in this some points are mentioned about the forest and wildlife, and in this uh, the dependency of various elements of forest and wildlife such as plant, animal, microorganism is mentioned, and the base of all this uh, biodiversity or all this element is forest. And the definition of biodiversity is also given, that is biodiversity or biological diversity is immensely rich in wildlife and cultivated species, diverse in form. There are different types of like plants are of different types, animals are of different types. So different type of are of different types of elements are there. So diverse in form and function but closely integrated in a system through multiple network of interdependence. But they are related to each other. They are different in form but they are related to each other by function or by their dependency. So this is your introductory part of forest and wildlife. So next topic in this chapter, that is forest and wildlife resources, is flora and fauna in India. And the first part is, if you look around, you will be able to find that there are some animals and planets and plants which are unique in your area. In fact, India is one of the world's richest countries in terms of its vast array of biological diversity. Next point, this is possibly twice or thrice number yet to be discovered. You have already studied in detail about the extent and variety of forest and wildlife resources in India. So we have studied types of forest, deciduous forest, tropical forest, subtropical forest. Okay. We have studied all these. Okay, and this is twice or thrice in number in India. So next point is, you may have realized the importance of these resources in our daily life. These diverse flora and fauna are so well integrated in our daily life that we take these for granted. But lately, they are under great stress mainly due to insensitivity to our environment. So excessive use or excessive exploitation of this flora and fauna is causing damage. It's damage to our, because we are so much dependent on these, and we are exploiting all these. So it is causing, they are under great stress mainly due to insensitivity of our to our environment. So as they are under great stress, so conservation of forest and wildlife in India uh, comes into picture. So under this, the first point is conservation in background of rapid decline in wildlife population and forestry has become essential. Next point, conservation preserves the ecological diversity and our life support system, water, air, or soil. We have to conserve all these things. Next, it also preserves genetic diversity of plants and animals for better growth of species and breeding. For example, in agriculture, we are still dependent on traditional crop varieties, fisheries, who have heavily dependent on the maintenance of aquatic biodiversity. In the 1960s and 1970s, conservationists demanded a national wildlife protection program. The Indian Wildlife Protection Act was implemented in 1972 with various provisions for protecting habitats. An all India list of protected species was also published. Next point, the thrust of the program was towards protecting the remaining population of certain endangered species by banning hunting, giving legal protection to their habitat, and restricting trade in wildlife. Subsequently, central and many states government established national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. Next point, the central government also announced several projects for protecting specific animals which are gravely threatened, including the tiger, the the one-horned rhinoceros, the Kashmiri stag or hangul, three types of crocodiles: freshwater crocodiles, saltwater crocodiles, and gharials, the Asiatic lions and others. Next point, most recently, the Indian elephant, black buck, and snow leopard, etc., have been given full or partial legal protection against hunting and trade throughout India. So this is about conservation of forest and wildlife in India. So here are three more points are there. So next point is the conservation projects are now focusing on biodiversity rather than on a few of its components. There is now a more intensive research for different conservation measures. Next point, increasingly, even insects are beginning to find a place in conservation planning. In the notification under Wildlife Act of 1980 and 1986, several hundred butterflies, moths, beetles, and one dangerously have been added to the list of protected species. In 1998, for the first time, plants were also added to the list, starting with six species.